I am FastHeartMart, your host. And the title of this one episode is it's episode 85, I think. We've gotten a long way since the pandemic. Episode 85, should the people who voted for Trump apologize now? I will answer that question in a minute. But right now, just let me know you're out there by chat in the chat. Looks like my dad's there. Hello from Virginia. Hey, Dad. Thanks for saying hi. Hey, sorry about the July 4th live stream, everybody. I was out on the beach and everything was set up beautifully. It had the great shot, and I think all the people out there on the beach with their phones was like clogging up the internet. So, man, I need a haircut. My hair is pretty shabby on top here, and I think it affected the stream, so I couldn't stream. It just wouldn't go. So sorry about that. I was so bummed. I'm so bummed when these things don't work out. It's like when I first started performing publicly in like 1997, I guess it was. I would get so bummed that the performance didn't go well. I wouldn't feel right for like 3 days. I don't do that necessarily with these live streams, but I would get really bummed. Like, I know a lot of people are kind of there waiting for me, and when it doesn't happen, I just feel like I've wasted people's time. So I'm sorry that happened. I'm learning more and more about, you got to test the stream before you go on. Is what I should have done that down at the beach, but I didn't. Hang on a second. This light is doing something weird. And hey, Mom. Thanks for saying hi. My mom's here. Does this Venmo sign work? I kind of worked hard getting this up. I'm doing just using my phone, no microphones or nothing like that, just the phone mic. So let me know if you guys can scan the QR code on here. Let me know if it works. It might be too small, but and also please like the video right now, even if you haven't watched it yet, which nobody has. I haven't even done it yet, so. But you can like it just for the fact of liking it, and subscribe to my channel. I have a new banjo. This is I kind of unveiled it a couple weeks ago with my friend Mitch, but it wasn't quite done. But it's a long neck banjo. You could probably tell how long it is. But yeah, I think I'm left-handed, Dad, because I just think that's the way it works when you use your phone to go live. I've noticed a lot of people that happens to them, so. I look like a left-handed genius right now, but I'm actually right-handed. All right, so let's get into some music. Actually, I needed to start with a beer because it's a non-alcoholic beer, of course. This is the Athletic Brewing stuff that I really like a lot. It's a light one. It's low carbs and all that stuff, and just a good tasting non-alcoholic beer. If you guys ever want to sponsor me, let me know. If any non-alcoholic beer company wants to sponsor me, let me know. That's I need to start reaching out. I just don't have time. If somebody wanted to help me with this thing, I could pay them like $25 an episode, but I know that's not much. But maybe somebody would be interested, so we could grow it together. I should start mentioning that more often on here. So cheers, everybody. This is a cold, non-alcoholic beer. Hope you're having a good day out there. Let's see. 4 people are watching. Got 3 likes so far. Great. So. The first song I'm going to do today is the Star Spangled Banner. It is July. People are joking. Well, it's July. It's Independence Day and stuff, you know. So we can sing the Star Spangled Banner all month if we want. I like to do it as much as possible in July because it's a really hard song, and I practice it, and I need an excuse to play it because it's not always appropriate to play. And in fact, as we know, some people start getting offended if you play it in the wrong. If you play it, you know, some people are offended by the Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem at this point. They want to see the United States of America completely dissolve, which, you know, that's their business if that's what they want. Yo, Dennis Driscoll's here, man. Thanks for tuning in, Dennis. Good to hear from you. I was practicing this in my motorhome, which is where I'm at right now, as you can tell. And it was at a Home Depot the other day. I had to do some repairs on my umbrella, which I perform under sometimes. And I got there super early. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe earlier, when I parked at the Home Depot. They open at 6, so I think I was there at 6 or something. I had to get some JB Weld. And when I came out, all these workers, you know, look like from other countries. I don't know where they're from, but they were all like around my motorhome, waiting for get picked up for jobs, you know, and not to be, you know, profiling or whatever, but they seem like they're probably from other countries, and I'm in my motorhome practicing the Star Spangled Banner. I just hope they didn't feel like I was like trying to shove it in their face or something. I feel for everybody on all sides of everything, you know, and you know, and I think this song stands for everybody throughout the whole world, for freedom. I really do. If the live stream would have happened on July 4th, I was going to tell the story of the Star Spangled Banner. Maybe I'll tell it now, just real quick. The Star Spangled Banner apparently was written about the battle that happened. I can never remember the details, but it was a battle off the East Coast that was fought by the revolutionaries against the British armies. The British had warned the revolutionaries to take their flag down off from their base. And the British said, if you take your flag down, we're not going to attack you. We're not going to bomb you. And this base was like way out in the ocean. I think it's even an island off. I think it's off of the coast of like Baltimore, Maryland. And the revolutionaries refused to take the flag down. And I guess at the time it would have been 13, maybe 13 stars. I don't know what it looked like at the time. But they refused to take the flag down. And they got bombed all night long, really bad, by the British. And in the morning, the flag was still up. And that story just gets me every time. I well up with a tear of joy, because that's how I am. I'm like, I'm very defiant. If you tell me to do something that I don't believe in, I won't do it. And a lot of times it works out for me. So, and that's what the story of the Star Spangled Banner means to me. It's just to do what you know is right, whether you're going to get the consequences or not. Just do what you think is right. And that's what the Star Spangled Banner means to me. So here it goes. Oh yeah, Steelman. I'm still left-handed also. Hello from Albuquerque. I know who you are, Steelman. I never knew who Steelman was until recently. We figured it out. And Jared Curry from South Dakota. Tuning in. Good to hear from you, Jared. I'm gonna be, hey Damien, Steelman, I'll be out your way soon, I hope again, so. And Jared, I hope to visit you up there in South Dakota one of these days, for sure. You and your family. Okay, here it goes. The Star Spangled Banner on the banjo. I'm gonna try to play it nice and slow, I guess. Even though I'm doing it in claw hammer style right now, which is... By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Rock on, United States of America, rock on, no matter what your beliefs are. Everybody rock on. Keep on rocking in the free world. And I mean it, not like Neil Young means it. He doesn't, that was a total joke, that song. Anyway, rock on, United States of America. Yo, Pete Heald, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. Pete Heald out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Got to catch up with him a little bit a few months ago, back in March when I was not feeling well. Pete, you'll be glad to hear I'm drinking a non-alcoholic today, beer. Pete's been, I don't think Pete's ever drank alcohol in his life. He certainly hasn't the whole time I've known him, which is over 20 years. My dad says when he was in the military, he felt so proud when saluting the flag. I bet you did, Dad. My dad's got an amazing story, actually, with that. I should have an interview with my dad on this sometime, for sure, about his story with, he was in Antarctica and Alaska in the Navy in 1967 or 68. And he's got an amazing story. Thanks for the comment, y'all. So here it goes. I'm gonna start this by saying I never wanted to talk about any of this stuff, right? I started this podcast during the pandemic because there was really nothing else to do. All my gigs were canceled, right? And then I thought, well, maybe I'll be a good orator through this whole thing, like kind of narrating how the whole thing goes on, because at first I thought everybody was going to die, or a big population of the people were going to die, and maybe me was going to be one of them. So I thought might as well like narrate this whole thing. I didn't realize it was going to turn into this political nightmare that it's turned into, and I don't think any of us did. In fact, I had checked out of politics during the Obama administration, and God bless him, of course, whatever. But the first thing he said was, we're going to bail out the banks, and he never stopped the Iraq war, which is what most of us voted for Obama for. Us. We thought, we want to stop this war. We know it's not a good idea to be fighting the Iraq war. Okay, so that's when I started talking about politics, is when the COVID injections were, I knew they were going to come out with them as soon as the George Floyd riots started happening. I was like, wait a second, people wouldn't be doing this during a real pandemic. Like, there wouldn't be people like in mobs like gathering together if people were really dying like in a pandemic. And because I studied a lot of pandemics in college. I was actually a biology, that was my specialty, was biology, microbiology, and botany. And so I was always fascinated by pandemics. And so I thought everybody was going to die, and then the George Floyd thing happened, and I was like, wait a second, what is this about? Okay, so this is starting to feel like 9/11 again, when rich people got richer. What could they possibly get rich off of in this situation? Oh, they're going to come out with a pharmaceutical. So I came up with that like long before it was announced they were coming up with one. They said it would take 10 years, right? And so that's when I started saying, looks like Donald Trump is warp speeding this thing, which is not a great idea, but he said he's not going to mandate it anyway. And then that's when I got involved in politics, and I can't seem to get out of it now. And I'm sorry for anybody I've alienated. I know I've lost a lot of fans. Trust me, it's taken a lot of guts to speak about the elephant in the room, the big fat pink elephant in this room. It's taken a lot of guts to speak exactly how I feel about it and try to find common ground with my friends and not alienate them. It's taken a lot of guts and a lot of whatever. So to answer the question, should people apologize for voting for Donald Trump now? For me, the answer is no, because like most of us who voted for Donald Trump, I didn't vote for him to cover up the Epstein files. I didn't vote for him to bomb Iran and start a new war in the Middle East like he said he wasn't going to. I didn't vote for him to start Doge with Elon Musk, which, I could see the benefits of that, but I didn't vote for that. I didn't vote for Elon Musk. I didn't vote for Mark Zuckerberg to be at the inauguration. None of this stuff I voted for, right? So I don't think I need to apologize. And here's the thing too, if somebody apologized to me for voting for Joe Biden because he mandated the COVID injections, then I might say, I'm sorry for voting for Donald Trump because now he's made a mess of our finances, or now he's created something called alligator Alcatraz, which is very insensitive way to name something. So if somebody apologized to me about stuff, I might apologize back. But at this point, I don't feel like I need to apologize, but I do feel like I need to acknowledge that what's going on is not what we voted for, and we were duped. And then I know I hear all my friends who hate Donald Trump, which is a lot of them, and that's fine. I hear them all say, "Well, we knew you're going to get duped like a long time ago," and I would love to debate people who said that because nobody actually knew. Just like nobody who voted for Joe Biden knew he was going to mandate the injections, right? He didn't run on that. Um, Nobody voted for Joe Biden to let all these illegal immigrants invade the country, which is what it was. It was an invasion. Look, I don't, I don't, I have nothing against anybody across the whole world. I wish the whole world could just be one big country. I think that would be great. Everybody live in peace and harmony. But it's not going to happen until we all get together, hold hands, and find common ground. And until then, you kind of have to protect your borders. And if you just let just different people in and invade, then you might end up with basically a different type of warfare where you've been taken over by other people. It's not even your country anymore. It's not even a country anymore. It's a total chaos, you know? And so that's all I'm saying. Like I've said so many times before, I can't just go anywhere in the world and play my music without a work visa. Seriously, if I go to the UK, it's especially bad. You will get sent on the next flight home without a work visa if you have an instrument with you at all. And in other countries, if you get caught going in illegally and working and all that stuff, it's a really stiff penalty. You know, it's like it can be really bad. You know, jail time and all that stuff. So, I guess I answered the question. I hope. Let's see. We've got some chats here. Let me see if anybody said anything back to me. I want to debate. Jared Curry says Obama tricked him too. Yeah, a lot of us got tricked by Obama, just like we got tricked by Trump now, and everybody got tricked by probably Biden. Maybe if they were being honest, I guess. It's like my friends who don't vote have been saying forever. Just don't vote. It's all a joke. They're just playing tricks. It's called politics, you know. And I don't agree with not voting actually, and I respect my friends who don't vote, and they're annoying sometimes, just like everybody else. But in some ways they were right, for not voting. And anyway, Gary Reed says the big beautiful banjo. That's a good one, Gary. That's a good one, man. Noah Baldwin, what's up, bro? Good to hear from you, buddy. Out there in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And Jared says, good for nothing tricksters. Which is all tricks. And here's the problem, everybody. The problem is nobody wants to run for office because we know what happens when you run for an office. You inevitably will not even win most times. And if you do win, you're going to get railed by the deep state in some way, probably, to where you're going to get beat down, your life will be threatened, whatever the hell they do to make these people trick us. I don't know. I think somewhere along the lines, Trump was legit. I think somewhere along the lines, Obama was legit. I think they just get taken over. Looks like Pete Heald agrees with me about Obama. Wish he would have done half of what he promised. Exactly. So I think we're all learning. Any of us who've been alive for these last few decades, last 2 decades, I guess it is, we realize that they're just tricking us all the time. So just don't vote next time, or write in your vote, I guess, right? We live in a democracy. We're supposed to vote, right? I know everybody says we live in a constitutional republic. Sure, that's fine. But it's not going to run itself. The constitutional republic still has to run some way by us voting for stuff, Anyway, it's all annoying. Everybody's annoying, and everybody's wrong, and everybody's right. And it's a big old mess. And I'm glad you guys are here joining me. Ron Paul's cool, man. Always loved Ron Paul, Jared. Yeah. I remember in 2008, he was running as a Republican, and he said, we're never going to balance the budget with this war raging, so we have to stop the war. And I was like, that's the guy. I want to vote for him. Of course, he didn't make it to the, the primaries or whatever, so. You will be processed by the machine. Yeah, that's right. Steelman said that you'll be processed by them. If you run for office and you actually make it in. And so what do we do about it? What are you going to do about it? We're going to have to be revolutionaries, sticking our flag up and they're gonna threaten to bomb us, but we got to do what we want to do anyway. We know is right. I put up on Facebook a few weeks ago, and sorry about the lack of music right so far, but there's a lot to talk about today. I will play some songs for those of you who do like me to play music. I put up a post on Facebook a few weeks ago. I was just like, what can both sides still agree on? And I think the most important one that everybody kind of came up with was getting rid of human trafficking. I think if we could do that, really root out where the deep state actually is. If we were able to all get behind that and work together, regardless of political affiliations, for human trafficking, I think we would get somewhere. Let's see if we can do it, maybe. Speaking of human trafficking, I have a friend here in San Diego. She might not think we're friends. I know her. She knows me somewhat. I've played music at some of her events around town. She's a super cool, kind of pretty extreme activist here. And she was yelling out of a RV the other day down at the beach. I was down at Mission Beach. And she's got a megaphone. She's yelling out from the window of an RV. Somebody else was driving. She's like, everybody be careful of your daughters and your wives. There's, people are stealing women for human trafficking. And she's yelling this out the RV. And I'm like, she's not wrong, but this is just the world has just been so crazy, because then, a few days before that, I had somebody on Facebook who's a friend of mine, and it's an account from one of the neighborhoods around San Diego. They were like putting up pictures of people saying JD Vance is not allowed here. We hate JD Vance. And I was just like, what? Why would you say something like that? Like, first of all, not everybody around here hates JD Vance. And those who don't hate him probably are just afraid to speak up. Anyway, so you got like people yelling and screaming from both sides, and it's just a wild, wild time. And God bless me for speaking about the pink elephant in the room. All right, what does Noah Baldwin say here now? Hi, Martin. Missed your last live stream on the beach. Looked like fun time, looking good. Don't ever change. The world's crazy. Thanks, Noah. Well, you'll be glad to know, Noah, that the last live stream on the beach didn't happen. It was there was technical problems beyond my control, and it did not happen. So didn't miss anything. I'm kind of saying a lot of what I was going to say there anyway. Pete Heald says, thanks for being willing to talk about this. We are never going to be able to move forward without talking to each other. Exactly, Pete. That's exactly it. We have to keep talking. We have to keep the communication lines open, because I think once the communication lines close, that's when wars occur. Like, people don't want it happens even in a relationship between a husband and wife. When they stop communicating, you notice things get really bad, and that's when they usually get a divorce. And we don't really, well, a divorce wouldn't be bad, but we don't want war. I don't think anybody wants war. It's like really bad. It doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. Thanks for being here now, Noah. Big, beautiful banjo. Hashtag. All right, get back to the banjo. That reminds me. Let me play y'all a song. So, yeah, like I said the other day, I had this account on Facebook or on Instagram. Like, we're good friends. I've been very supportive of their account. It's a neighborhood in San Diego, and they've been supportive of me over the years. And I just had to leave that comment. I just said, there's people here who don't hate JD Vance, and they're just afraid to speak up. And I said, and now I'm going to try to ignore anybody who hates on me for leaving this comment, And I never heard anything back, which is nice, I guess. I don't know what happened, but anyway, San Diego's a great place. I think California gets painted with a certain brush, of course, these days. Like, I know a lot of conservatives do not like California or think we're a joke. But I would say to those people, there's plenty of us out here that are still fighting for the good fight, Which is not necessarily a conservative fight. It's not a conservative fight. I never was a conservative. I still am not a conservative. I might have voted for Trump, but I don't think Trump was like a whole different, like people said when who was it? Dick Cheney? When Dick Cheney endorsed Kamala Harris, Dick Cheney, who was like the Darth Vader of the Iraq war situation, right? When he endorsed Kamala Harris, then we all realized, wait a second, MAGA is the third party. MAGA is the third party. And now it's looking like Trump is not who we think he is, but maybe MAGA is still a legit movement. Who knows? And I'll speak a little more about that later. I'm getting off topic. I want to sing a song called "I Love You, San Diego" now. I was playing this last night in Oceanside, and I was explaining, as I do often when I sing this song, I can't sing this song anywhere besides San Diego because people get really upset and offended. People get offended by everything about now. But even in Palm Springs, if I sing "I Love You, San Diego," they're like, "This isn't Palm Springs." And I'm like, well, what if I sang "Sweet Home Alabama"? They were like, oh, that's fine. It's like, well, then why can't I say "I love you, San Diego" here, you know? And I realized what it is, and I said this last night, and somebody got super offended. I said, what? I realized what it is nobody wants to live in Alabama, right? And of course, as soon as I said this, I said, oh my God, that sounds terrible, right? And as soon as I said it, 2 older people came up, and they were mad, and they were like, rightly so. They were like, we've been living in Alabama for 52 years. We love it. And I was like, I am so sorry. I had no hate towards your state. I've been through twice. It's a great place. All I'm saying is, like, people get really upset about singing about San Diego for some reason, and I don't know what it is. And I think it's because everybody wants to live here secretly. Everybody wants to live. It's a great place to live, you know? So that's why I think I can't sing this song anywhere else. So here it goes. The song's called "I Love You, San Diego." We got 9 people watching. That's great. And 5 people liked the video so far. Keep on liking it. I'm going to talk about alligator Alcatraz a little more after this. Hang on a second. Let me get something to work here. It's not working. There it goes. This is for all you people who love San Diego, even if you don't live here. Just lost 2 people. Maybe the music isn't good. It's really tough to live in the city, 'cause all these houses cost so much money. There's hardly ever any parking. At the grace of God, we're making a living. Ah, but where else would I go? This place is perfect, I know. That's why I love you, San Diego, California. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, I'm gonna be living in a fantasy. There's all these natural disasters all around me. Earthquakes and fires are pretty scary, but usually it's 70 and sunny. Ah, but where else would I go? This place is perfect as I know. That's why I love you, San Diego. I was sitting on a beach in February. The sun was out and I was sunbathing, and all the weather back east was freezing. I'm from there and it was depressing. Oh, where else would I go? This place is perfect as I know. Thanks, Noah. That's why I love you, San Diego. Woo! I know there's too many normies living in this new age reality. People with way too much self-esteem, driving BMW, taking themselves too seriously. Ah, but where else would I go? This place is perfect as I know. That's why I love you, San Diego. Where else would I go? This place is perfect as I know. That's why I love you, San Diego. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. I definitely never sang that song in Florida when I was out there playing music. It was like 2021. I'll tell you a quick story. I try to make it quick. I was playing in San Diego, or in Florida. I was playing in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I'm setting up the gig, and the guy who co-owned the place, the real owner, she was gone. She really liked me a lot, but she was out of town for the gig. So her co-owner, who was her like bad brother, her evil brother, he was taking over for the day. And he comes up and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm sound checking." And he's like, "Well, you can't use that." And I was like, what do you want me to use or whatever? So he's like, I don't remember all the details of him. He was just a jerk, right? And then like I get my sound all set up, and the bartender, she comes over and she's really pleasant, and she's like, "Hey, just to let you know, like people are asking like what kind of music to expect, because you drove in with the Prius with California plates." And I was like, "Okay, I'll take care of this, don't worry." So I get up on stage to start the gig, and I said, "Hey, I'm FastHeartMart. Yes, I drove a Prius from the state of California, but trust me, I didn't vote for Joe Biden," right? I didn't tell them who I voted for. And they all started laughing and clapping and stuff. And I said, "Besides, would a guy with a banjo and a mullet vote for Joe Biden? I mean, the guy is really, even though I'm driving a Prius, you know, which is probably one of the best cars ever made, if we're being super honest, it really is, and one of the most economical. I got everywhere in that car, man. I went everywhere. I went from San Diego to Portland, Maine. Like, you can't go further than that. Like, well, you could if you went to Alaska, I guess, but I would have done that. I just didn't have time. So definitely didn't sing that song, "I Love You, San Diego," there. It's so funny. It is so funny. Even up in Oceanside, which is still in San Diego County. San Diego County is huge. And Oceanside, where I was last night, that's why I was telling this story, is because, like, people will be like, "This isn't San Diego." I'm like, "It's San Diego County, hello. It's still, we're in San Diego. It's like when I go out to Phoenix, people get offended when I say it's Tempe. I'm like, isn't it like the Phoenix greater area or something? Anyway, people are just very touchy about things. And that's fine. I still got to mess with them, push back a little bit. Martin is my barometer of the populist. All right, thanks, Damien. Check out Damien's work. He's got some great song. You should put up your link if you can, Damien. He's got some great songs. I love his music. I used to play with him sometimes too, and he's got great music, and he's got some great podcasts. I haven't seen anything from him in a long time, but he's got some really good stuff too, and he keeps it pretty even keeled. I feel like, even though he, sticks up for himself, he still straddles the middle a little bit, I think, or tries to, in a good way. So anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, Alligator Alcatraz. I wanted to talk about that. So like, So this whole thing with Trump, right? I definitely didn't vote for him in 2016 because I was just like, I was out of politics, right? Didn't vote for him. And then, I saw the Pussy Hat riots or whatever that was. And I, witnessed people. And I was like, well, that's, what, I don't know what they're doing. They're like saying he's a feminist or a sexist or something. So they're protesting him. They like, whatever. I was like, good. I'm glad people are being active at least, or speaking up for what they believe in. And then, as of course, as his administration went on, and then we turned into the pandemic, that's when I got more interested in Trump. But it was just like when I did finally vote for Trump in 2020, it was like people were like, "Don't vote for Trump. If you vote for Trump, I'm not your friend," or "I don't like you anymore," or whatever. Or if you vote for Trump, it's the end of the world, or whatever. It was just like, the more people pushed me, and also with the COVID injections, it was the same way. It's like, for a lot of people like myself, the more you like peer pressure us to do something that we don't believe in, the more we just are like adamant that we're right. It's just, so I think that's kind of what happened with the whole Trump thing. It was just like people just hated him so bad, and the people who did see the reason to vote for him were like, this guy must be brilliant because the whole world's against him. Like, all the news media is against him. He must be brilliant. He must be like legit. So, and I think that's why a lot of us did vote for Trump twice. Actually, we had the option of voting for him 3 times, but I only voted for him twice, I'll admit. And now, like this alligator Alcatraz thing, I understand, like the reason for it, right? I understand why, if you're going to deport all these illegal immigrants that flooded the country during the Biden administration, you have to put them somewhere where they're not going to escape, right? But to call it the alligator Alcatraz is it's so provocative to say that. And then it just got me thinking. I was talking to my friend Kevin about this the other day. It just, Trump has been so provocative. It's like he tries to piss people off. And I don't understand why he does that. It's like the Gulf of America thing. It was like, again, I didn't vote for a Gulf of America. That was not on his campaign. It was just like, why is he calling it the Gulf of America now? Like, what's the point in that? I don't get it. Kind of what brings me to my next point, about the Q people, the QAnon people, which again, if you're a QAnon lover and all that's diehard, God bless you. God bless everybody. God bless the Biden supporters. God bless the Ron Paul supporters, whoever, the Bernie Sanders, Trump supporters, everybody, whatever. But the QAnon people, there's some are still steadfast, basically that there's a white hat operation that's going to save the world, And I hope they're right. I think we all hope they're right, but it's starting to look more and more like Trump is not with the white hat operation anymore. And maybe that's the beautiful thing about this whole thing. If people realize Trump is not going to save us, which I never thought he was. I really didn't. I was hoping he would, but never really believed it. If Trump is not going to save us, then we're going to have to save ourselves. And maybe if there is a white hat operation, maybe this is what's happening. If we have to all agree that more and more people are involved and paying attention to politics now more than ever, which is a really good thing, right? So maybe that's the whole point of this white hat movement is, and maybe the white hat movement is using Trump as a pawn, and we're supposed to abandon the idea that Trump is going to save us and MAGA will go rogue. I know people don't like the term MAGA, and that's fine. But you know what I mean? People who believe that human trafficking should not occur, like on the level that it's occurring, right? All those people get together and say, hey, nobody's coming to save us and all these people who've been trafficked, that kind of thing. So maybe that's what's happening. And that's my point about the Q people. So I hope you're right. What else do I have? I have a list because there's like a lot of stuff here, right? I was emailed this week when I sent out my email message about should people who voted for Trump apologize now. And some guy, curtly, I think it was curtly, you never know with just text messages. he curtly emailed me back and said, "You made a huge mistake for voting for Donald Trump. We all do it. Now just own it." And I'm not sure how to take that. It sounded hateful, but maybe he was. Maybe he was just saying, just own it. Just like we all mess up. So hopefully, try to give him the benefit of the doubt. I try to be like that more and more all the time. Like when somebody says something in a text, which is also an email, there's no nuance, right? There's no like, you don't know how they're saying it. And I just try to assume the best at first until it's obvious they are attacking you. So anyway, what is Jason Williams? There's like 10 people who are QAnon. Or 18 people. No, dude, I think there's a lot out there. It's crazy. I mean, I have some really good friends. Well, I guess, yeah, I have some really good friends who are diehard QAnons. And they'll find ways to justify what Trump's doing right now, you know, and that's fine. I'm not going to hate on him or whatever, but it's just, there comes a point when you have to say, this doesn't look right, you know, and maybe Trump is going to prove us all wrong. Actually, my astrologer friend Jess, hey Jess, if you're out there, she was saying, a lot of the astrologers were saying something's going to happen that none of us predicted, anybody knew about. So maybe everything's going to all make sense. I don't know. But maybe, I don't know. Thanks for the comment though, Jason. Yeah, it seems like there's less and less people who believe in that QAnon thing. All right, what other songs was gonna play today? I'm gonna play a old Nirvana song. This one's called "Something in the Way." And then I might end it on a song. I think I'll end it on a Grateful Dead song. Boy, I hope this format works. It's so weird, you know. I'm a musician, and now I'm talking about all this crap, you know, putting myself out there. And thank God for people like Pete Heald who don't agree with most of what I'm saying about Trump or whatever, probably, but they still appreciate that I'm talking about it and I'm willing to discuss it, you know. So that's all I ask is like people just be willing to discuss things, and like I'm trying to be straightforward here. All right, here goes a song called "Something in the Way" by Nirvana. I don't think a lot of people really know this song. Like when I'm playing on the streets or at clubs, I don't get many people being like, "Well, that was a great cover of the Nirvana song," or maybe it's just a bad cover. Let's see what you think. Had another harmonica blowout last night, so got this one backed up here. That's why I need some Venmo tips here. Send in your Venmo tips. Yo, Cobb, happy Friday, bro. Good to hear from you. Cobb is another guy, good friend of mine. We don't agree on the Trump thing, and we discuss it, and we're fine. Everything's fine. He says what he thinks, I say what I think, and whatever. We try to meet somewhere in the middle. I've already messed up. Someone beneath the bridge. The tarp is sprung a leak, and the animals I've trapped have all become my pets. And I'm living off of grass and the drippings from the ceiling. And it's okay to eat fish, 'cause they don't have any feelings. And something's in the way. Feel like something's in the way. I feel like something's in the way. I feel like